Words matter, so we need to choose what we say carefully when we are engaging in our family law cases. One wrong word can serve to escalate a conflict, while other words can serve to de-escalate for the benefit of your client. I'm Vanessa Wills, and I have seen the power of words in my family law practice. In this video, I will list the words and phrases that are guaranteed to start a fight and those you can use to de-escalate the situation for the benefit of your client. In preparing for this video, I realized how much I have made mistakes. If we want to calm the waters and move things forward, these are not the words to use. So let's work through the naughty list. Use statements. Used statements can sound blaming and accusatory. This is likely to escalate someone and turn their ability to listen off. Once they hear you, the fight is on and you are not being heard. Frankly or honestly. This signals that something condescending will follow. Eliminate the words frankly, honestly, or things of that nature from your professional communication diet. Phrases like, your client loves to play the victim. This is an example of a wider category of personal attacks and blaming. This type of language is likely to cause the listener to become defensive or withdraw from the communication. And when leveled against their client, an attorney will feel the need to defend them in a like-kind way that will only serve to escalate the conflict. If you don't, then I will. Fill in the blanks. These types of phrases are perceived as threats, and whether intentional or unintentional, be careful when you're using a threat. It's important to be tactical, to choose your words carefully, and ensure the message comes across in a way that does not trigger defensiveness. Another example is, everyone knows. Everyone knows this is how you get something done. Invoking that type of group thinking isn't particularly helpful. If the temptation arises to invoke group thinking in that matter, be sure you're citing to the only groups that really matter, the judiciary and the legislature, and try to include a citation whenever you can. All right, so now we've been through the naughty list, let's talk about things that can help you de-escalate a conversation. Attorneys are quick to fight, so usually when you say something like the phrases that we're about to cover, it can be a welcoming surprise that can invite conversation and lead to better understanding of what's required in the case to move things forward. Now, it may not be obvious why you want to de-escalate. The purpose is to allow our client's position to be heard and listened to in the same manner that you would listen to them as their attorney. It is the most powerful form of advocacy. So let's begin. I statements. I statements are non-threatening and provide an opportunity for the listener to interpret what you're saying. It displays openness. The use of I statements is one of the key ways to change from an aggressive stance to an assertive stance. In what follows after the I, be sure to use non-accusatory, non-judgmental words. This will invite a general comprehension of what you are saying and ward off defensiveness. For example, you're accusing my client of not working as hard as she should be, compared with, I hear that you think my client should be working more. Let me share some facts with you about that. It's the same message, but when you start with you, you're attacking. And when you start with I, you're informing. Next phrase to facilitate de-escalation is something to the effect of, I want to understand more what you're saying. I'm curious about it. Admitting ignorance or asking questions reduces the tension and provides the listener with an opportunity to become involved in the conversation. Asking questions is really a necessary component to resolve conflict in a de-escalating way. And if you ask those questions with genuine curiosity, you're likely to receive a response that invokes thought in the listener rather than defensiveness. A next helpful phrase for de-escalation is, my understanding of what you said is, fill in the blanks. Here, you're giving feedback to the listener to show that you are listening to them and to make them feel more comfortable with engaging with you. Next, how about this one? You're right. It's hard to argue when you agree. Even if it's just on a trivial point, giving someone that win can help to create engagement and facilitate a cooperative atmosphere going forward. Next example. How can I support you? It can be very disarming for the listener to hear that you're asking them if you can help. By using these phrases to de-escalate, as opposed to the phrases we covered at the beginning of this video, which can cause someone to be on the defense, you are not just being a better person. What you're doing here is being an advocate for your client opening the doors to communication so that your client's position can be heard and thoughtfully considered by the other side. Otherwise, there's just going to be a wall where no one's talking to each other, no one's listening, and nothing's getting done. As family law practitioners, we often know too well that disputes can be more about bruised egos and personalities than the substantive deal points. Choosing our words carefully helps us to open the door to communication so we can further the interests of our clients. This video is a part of the Aaml Communications Initiative to help lawyers improve their cases through communications. Please check out the rest of the videos in our series. You're sure to find them very helpful.